What's up, Canfield Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com, your home of Canfield High School football all season long. And boy, has it been a great season, and it's going to continue this week as the Canfield Cardinals will invade Streetsboro to play the Streetsboro team. And again, Coach's Corner with Coach Pavlansky, sponsored by Coca's Pizza. Can't say enough, Coach, about Coca's Pizza and the opportunity for the two of us to talk each week. But first of all, thanks for joining us again.
Great to be with you, Steve, and certainly the support from the Coca family and Steve Coca. We truly appreciate that. Tremendous family and tremendous supporters of all of Canfield athletics, not just the football team.
Yeah, no doubt. They support it all. And you know what, Coach, before we get going, from a YSN standpoint, I'm going to give a little shout out and I'm going to put a little challenge on Canfield Nation. Last week, you play Akron St. Vincent-St. Mary. I talked with DJ earlier today. Over 220 people tuned in to watch the Canfield Cardinals. 25% of that obviously going back to the athletic department, which we're proud of. I'm going to throw the challenge out there to Canfield Nation. This football team needs you this week more than ever. In my opinion, Coach, I know as well as you, Richie Giuliano and Gary Niddle have been phenomenal covering your football games, the knowledge that they both have, not only of the Canfield kids, the players, but the way they announce the game. They represent us at YSN so well, but they represent your football team well. So Canfield Nation, hop on ysnlive.com/Canfield. $9.99 gets you all our games for the weekend, but that 25% goes out to the Canfield Athletic Department. The athletic director, Mike Cochran, does a great job. Obviously, in these times, this is the only money that the sports programs at Canfield can get with the conditions we're under. So, Coach, I wanted to throw that out there. And I know that makes you happy, knowing that you're going to have people watching you Friday night.
I appreciate that, Steve. And certainly we know we're limited in the number of tickets that we get at home and on the road, but you can certainly feel the Cardinal Nation being with us through every ball game, especially Saturday night. We went back and, finished that one in the fourth quarter. It was loud in the stadium, and, we had some people in the parking lot screaming and honking horns, and it's neat to have and to be a part of this type of community.
Yeah, we're with Coach Pav, Coach's Corner, sponsored by Coca's Pizza. They will have the game on Friday night. I know that. We'll have it for you on YSN at 7 o'clock. Coach, let's dive back into last week. You go to play a St. V's team. I'm at the studio. Physical game Friday night. I watch a quarter. I can't remember the exact. Maybe played 3 minutes, I want to say, of the second quarter. The lightning hits. I said to a lot of people at the studio, and I felt trouble for the first time for the Canfield Cardinals watching that first quarter. Take us from there. That's my biggest question to you. Like, you get postponed, your job doesn't stop, your staff doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Take the fans through that progression from the cancellation till you go get ready to play. There's a lot going on there. The biggest thing I wanted – kids are beat up. That was a physical 10 minutes.
Quarter and a half of football, and Steve, you're exactly right. We weren't playing very well offensively. Defensively, we were playing lights out. And, we just told our kids before we let them go Friday night once the game was canceled, hey, the team that handles this delay the best and shows up tomorrow, mentally prepared and ready to go, we'll have a great chance of winning the ball game. We got together as a staff about 3:30 Saturday afternoon offensively and sat down and really pared down what we were trying to do against St. V's and said, this is what we're going to live on, and put the game in the hands of our offensive line. And, our kids came in at 4:30 and they were ready to go. I think maybe, that first quarter offensively, we had more jitters than we've had all year long. And rightfully so. St. V's the best team we've played so far. And physical, fast team, a lot of athletes. But credit our guys. We started that second quarter, 7:15 left in the quarter. We had the ball 3 times. And 2 of them we should have scored. We missed a field goal on the first possession. We're down inside the 5-yard line and get a personal foul. That can't happen. Second time, we tried to throw it 3 times in a row and punt. Our defense did a wonderful job holding them inside the 10-yard line. We got the ball back, 43 seconds to go, and in 3 plays we're in the end zone. And so taking the lead at halftime was huge. And once we talked to our kids about it, so guys, 6-0, not playing well offensively, one play, one drive is going to put you in the lead. And certainly that happened at halftime.
Yeah, well, hats off to all of you for that. I said, in the scoreboard show when we were talking with Mike and Nick, it was my opinion. That was the best thing that can happen. Now, you don't like lightning, you don't like weather. I get that, but I just felt a sense of confidence that this group would figure it out, find a way to do what they needed to do. And I get there Saturday, I turn it on, and I've watched you play. I've talked to your kids play. That's who I'm used to watching right there. From not even a football standpoint, just I'm big on mannerisms and just the attitude was the group that I was used to seeing. And that's no disrespect to how they were the night before, but those guys right there were the crew that I've watched all season long.
I agree with you, Steve. Our kids hit the reset button. There's no doubt.
No doubt.
They showed up Saturday night. They were men on a mission and, weren't going to be denied and, got into that fourth quarter and, punched one in with about 5 minutes to go and then relied on our defense. And, our defense did a tremendous job hanging in there. And, finally we get the big knockdown from Drew Carosi and, the ball game was over. And, that type of attitude, that type of physicality, mental discipline has to happen from snap one Friday night. Because if not, there's no reset Friday. We're going to play 48 minutes Friday night. And, if we're not there for 48, we're probably going to be calling it a season.
Well, we'll get to that one, but we're with Coach Pav, Coach's Corner, sponsored by Coca's Pizza. They'll invade Streetsboro Friday night at 7. We'll have it for you. Coach, I'm going to say this. I know you give your kids a lot of credit, and there's no doubt, but I'm going to give you a shout out. What you did with that football team and your staff in those situations, you're not that type of guy to want that credit, but I'm going to give you your props. You and your staff, I know the time that was spent Friday night as from a coaching standpoint, you guys did a great job to regroup and get that team ready to play. So salute to your staff. And again, the community has backed you. We could hear the crowd at the studio when we go to the game on the audible call. The crowd has been fantastic. And, hats off to them too. It was a huge, huge night for the Canfield Cardinals.
Steve, I appreciate those kind words. Our staff, the staff that we've been able to compile at Canfield is, we believe second to none. From a person standpoint, human standpoint, how they treat the kids, number one. Number two, from a technical standpoint, knowing the game of football, continuing to learn the game of football by attending clinics. And, this past spring, jumping online and watching clinics virtually. Our guys do a tremendous job of preparing, and we all laughed about it on Sunday morning that Friday night nobody could sleep because we weren't playing real well, and then Saturday night nobody could sleep because we were so excited we won the game. So we were a couple of days behind on sleep.
It's okay. You'll take that for any day of the week, that extra day.
We'll start sleeping in December.
Yeah. One last thing before we get into Streetsboro, I don't think fans understand how good that offense was. I know who they play because I've watched a lot of football. I've watched them against Cardinal Moonies and Ursons all the time. That's a good football team that you held to 6 points.
Tremendous football team, feathering our defensive cap. And
no question.
Thirdly, that's the least number of points they scored this year. And 2 of their opponents are still in the Division II playoffs. Sure. Cleveland Benedictine, they put 28 up on them. And Akron Hoban, who is tremendous, obviously one of the best teams, if not the best team in the state of Ohio, but certainly one of the best teams in the nation, gave up 9 points to that offense. Our guys were really excited about the way we played on the defensive side of the ball Friday and Saturday night.
Well, there's no doubt. And shout out to those kids, all the guys that I've been able to do the senior player profiles come up big. Morchak on the line, Sam Marone, obviously. But I'm going to go to a guy, Panunzio, that's my guy right there. I remember the first interview with him. Gary Niddle I had talked to, I think, after your ball game he was just excited to be dressed and maybe get a play. Well, my man gets 2 big pass plays and hits you when you need him. I know that makes you happy to see a kid work that hard with his senior group, and now he's a big part of it and another big weapon for this offense.
He certainly is. And, to come into your senior year expecting to be a 2-way starter and then have an injury like that happen in the only scrimmage we had, Tony never wavered. continued his rehab, did exactly what the doctors asked him to do, didn't do anything more, anything less. And, here we are week 9 or week 8, and we were able to use him in certain packages. And that's certainly going to get expanded this week because his foot is responding really well. And obviously his conditioning responded very well. For him to come up for his teammates twice, like you said, one was a 3rd and 18 play down their sideline. He was able to catch the pass and make 2 guys miss. And then, going in for that last touchdown, it was a 2nd and about 12 play.
Yeah, a little skinny post. Yeah.
That's it. Got him down the middle. Brock made a great read and put it right on him. And, that allowed us to, to put the game away there at the end. You couldn't be happier for the type of young man that he is and that he's able to finally play some games with his teammates.
Yeah, no doubt. So hats off to him and that entire senior group. They continue on. We're with Coach Pav, Coach's Corner, playoff edition, Streetsboro. They're going to head there Friday night, ysnlive.com. We will have it. All right, let's jump in here. There's a fella named Richtel Mcallister.
Yep.
1,515 yards and 18 touchdowns is what I have. And last week against Dover, 21 carries for 310 yards.
Yep. He's tremendous.
Coach Pav has not slept a whole lot, or the defensive staff, I'm going to say, during preparation. Talk about them a little bit.
They're an explosive offense, and he leads the charge. He's only had 95 carries for that 1,500 yards, so he's averaging a bunch per carry. Well, obviously, we need to know where he's at because they'll line up everywhere in the backfield, out of wide out, in the slot, bring him in motion, and they want to get him to the outside as much as possible. They'll line up in a stack guy and bring him downhill in an ISO for you. So it's imperative that we know exactly where he's at and that we're able to make tackles. He's a strong runner. If he creases us and gets to the secondary, like all year long, it's going to be a track meet and we're going to lose. Nobody's caught him yet from behind, on the tapes that we have. But he's not the only one. Their quarterback is a tremendous runner. They want to run the ball 80% of the time, and the times that they don't throw underneath patterns.
Mason Klimek is his name. Yeah, I had him written down. Mason Klimek, yeah. Good athlete, it looked like.
Athlete, good runner. And they've got a couple other guys, too. They got about 5 or 6 guys they can get the ball to, and any one of them can go the distance on you if you're not playing good, sound defense. And for us to, help our defense out, we can't go 3 and out like we did Friday night. Exactly. We've got to get a better start. We've got to keep them off the field, make them play defense, and see what happens.
Yeah, we talk a lot, and obviously offense is your best defense to hold the ball the way you're capable to. I guess one of my questions, run fits defensively become key against a kid like this, obviously.
Yeah, because invariably, if somebody's not into the proper run,
wants to make a play on their own, it's trouble.
The kids, they find the crease, and they're gone. Our guys have done a tremendous job all year long of doing their job. Do your job, and we're just going to be fine. When you start covering for people and try and do somebody else's job and forget about your assignments, bad things happen.
Yeah, well, bad things aren't going to happen. I'm going to say it. I love this defense. Coach Hurdley, I love the way he gets after it. Is it safe to say Canfield play defense like you played all year, and I think this football team's got a pretty good opportunity to win. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. We got a great opportunity to win the ball game. They're certainly a very good football team. We've played speed before.
Right.
We've played teams that were big. Obviously, we haven't talked about their stud, Michael Hall, who's going to
Ohio State.
He's 6'3", 295, defensive tackle. And
can we send him on a visit like Friday?
Yeah, I called my contacts at Ohio State and said, "Can you use him this weekend against Penn State?" But they're waiting for him for next year, and he's tremendous. He has a motor that doesn't stop, and we've got trouble with him because he line him up all over the defensive line, not just in one spot. Right. So it's important that Brock, it's important that Ethan, when he's a quarterback, our offensive line, Andrew Morchak at center, that they recognize where number 76 is out on the field, so we can get into the proper plays and proper blocking assignments.
Yeah, we're with Coach Pav, Coach's Corner, talking some Streetsboro football. They will invade Streetsboro Friday night. ysnlive.com will have it. I already put the challenge out, Canfield Nation. They need you. Over 200 purchases last week in the game against St. V's. Let's beat it. I'm asking everybody to go on, buy it, $9.99, get you the whole weekend, get you the Cardinals on Friday night, and 25% goes back to a great athletic department. Coach, your schedule, we've talked a lot about that. That's one of the things that Mike Pavlansky and myself and Nick, we talk a lot about the scoreboard. You've played so many different styles, so many, the big teams, the skilled teams, the pass, the spread, the athlete. How does that give you confidence when you watch this Streetsboro team on film?
Well, absolutely, it gives you some confidence that we've played speed like this before, that we've played physical people like this before, that we've traveled like this before. When you go try and build a schedule, it's exactly what you want to put your team into. You want to play some speed teams. You want to play some physical teams that are just going to run right at you, and you're going to find out real quick what you're about. And then you want to throw in a road trip, because as you move on to the playoffs, if you're fortunate, those road trips get longer and longer. And, we want our guys to get comfortable on a bus for an hour, hour and a half. And, so when it comes to playoff time, they're not surprised by anything.
Right.
This is a really good football team. It's as good of a football team that we have played this year. We got our work cut out for us, but our guys will go into a high level of confidence, and they're going to give a good account of themselves.
Yeah, there's no doubt they'll represent Canfield very well. I don't know a whole lot about Streetsboro, the stadium. Do you know, how a good place to play?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about
No, never been there. Never scouted there, never played there. So everything's new to us.
That's hard to believe for as long as you've done this.
Yeah, that's true. That's
All
true.
right, so
very few places that I haven't been to.
Now, yeah, so this is one of them. This is a good thing, though. Go get that W against them. All right, every week I ask your key to a big win Friday night.
Well, I think the first key is control the line of scrimmage both ways. If we can stop the run and run the football, we're going to have a great chance of winning this thing. The second thing we've got to do is make sure that our defense stays on the sidelines. We've got to control the ball. We have to control the clock. We can't have any 3-and-outs. And then finally, from a defensive standpoint, you can't allow the big play, the big pass play, the big play on the run game where they're going to go 70, 80 yards on one play for a touchdown. And special teams are going to be huge. Our special teams last week, our kickers did a tremendous job punting. I think we punted 2 or 3 times. There was no return yards there, and 2 of them were down inside the 10. Chris Samarone did a tremendous job. And then our kickoff guy, Jonathan Schmidt, put the ball exactly where we wanted it to on all 3 kickoffs. And I think totally had 7 return yards on kickoff returns. So we need that type of performance by our cover teams again.
Well, there you have it, Canfield fans. We will have it. We are excited to be a part of it all season. Coach Pav, again, from all of us, DJ and Brian and myself and all of us at YSN, it's been an honor to cover you guys. It's fun every weekend to watch this football team continue to grow. There's no doubt in my mind that this football team is going to be prepared. They know how to win, and I think that's the biggest thing, Coach. This team has been in so many situations, and hopefully you play a team that likes to score fast and get the big play. Mm-hmm. If the game can go the way the Canfield Cardinals like to play, I love this team's chances. So best of luck to you, to the whole staff and the kids. You represent Canfield so well, and I can't wait to talk after a big dub this week.
I hope so, Steve. Again, appreciate all the support, and hopefully we can do this next Wednesday again.
Yeah, well, we're going to do it next Wednesday. I'm going to make that promise right now. In Canfield Nation, they need you. The challenge is up. Well, I want to beat 200 purchases for this big game. Support Canfield football, all the athletic departments. They do great things over at Canfield High School, and your support is greatly appreciated. So, Coach, get a little rest here the next day and a half and get yourself ready to go. And again, best of luck, and go beat a good Streetsboro team.
Appreciate it, Steve. Thanks.
All righty. Have a good night.
You too.